Hello, welcome to the stream. Today we are starting something new. We are starting Across a Thousand Dead Worlds, which is a RPG by the same creator as Kernathalis. So this is a sci-fi horror game. It's kind of like um, if the book Gateway by Frederick Pohl was turned into a horror setting. It is that. So the premise of the game is it is set in the far future. I believe we get an exact date somewhere in the book, which we'll get to shortly. But it is set in the future, a few centuries from now, where commercial asteroid mining is a thing, and some company, Drake Industries, bought an asteroid that turned out to be stuffed full of hundreds of alien spacecraft, all with pre-programmed destinations. And so, in the game, we will play people who have given up everything on Earth or possibly Mars. It's the future. People live on Mars now. We'll have given up everything to make the trip out to this asteroid, to Karam Station, as it is now known, to board these ships to head across the universe, traveling faster than light to distant locales, to dangerous places, to find and bring back treasure and horrible alien diseases and parasites, and get rich or die trying. So it is much more of an RPG than Kernathalis. Kernathalis is pretty much just a board game, right? There is a character in Kernathalis, but like who they are, what they want is irrelevant. There's no NPCs to interact with in Kernathalis. Ostensibly, we're searching for a way out of the dungeon, but that's just a framing device. There isn't a way out of the dungeon. Kernathalis is just a game about exploring a dungeon. You could play it just as a board game, pretty much, as I more or less have been. But with Across a Thousand Dead Worlds, we have our character, we have NPCs to interact with. There'll be a lot more role-playing involved. It's not just a solo game. You can run this as a traditionally GM'd game, but it comes with tools to run it solo. And it is rather more crunchy than Kernathalis, so I think we'll have a slow start as we get used to it, but I'm sure we can manage it. So let me just gather up all of my dice. I'm not sure exactly which dice we'll need. I think it just uses a mixture of like all the polyhedral dice, and we'll get started. I do like it when systems use a small number of dice. That is a slight ding against it. Don't you really need all the dice? But I don't know, whatever. Right, so the plan for today is we want to create our character, let's create an NPC crew to go with them, and then get into playing. So I do have this like intro module called Karam Station Blues, which covers like arriving at the space station and what you can kind of do there, along with the first like trip out into space. I think I'm just going to use the space station part of this and not do the trip, as I'd quite like to get into the like planet generation, the site generation rules this session if we can. But the intro bit about like arriving on the station and going through space customs, we'll get to play with some of this. So let's get to it. So it's by Alex T, the designer of Kernathalis. And we start with a little bit of introduction. So, congratulations! You are one of the very few people selected each year who may become a limited partner in Karam Station Enterprises, a subsidiary of Drake Industries. Your first obligation is to sign the enclosed Memorandum of Agreement. You need not do this at once. You're encouraged to study the agreement and to seek legal advice, if available. However, until you sign, you will not be eligible to occupy corporation housing, dine at the corporation commissary, or participate in corporation instruction courses. Accommodations are available at the Karam Hotel and Restaurant for those who are here as visitors, or who do not yet wish to sign the Memorandum of Agreement. A vast universe at your fingertips. As a limited partner in Karam Enterprises, you no doubt understand what an absolute privilege it is to be standing where you are, Karam Station, the marvel of the Arsath. From here, you'll find and shape the future of all humanity, and benefit personally from doing so. Earth has certainly seen better times, but here at Drake Industries we are firm believers in the power of community and humanity. We will overcome our common societal hurdles and, led by the brilliant vision of Jonathan Fraser, CEO of Drake Industries, we will work for the betterment of all humanity. You are a key part of this. As a brave explorer, you will board an Arsath ship and embark on a mission to enrich yourself and the rest of humanity. Who hasn't read the interviews with famous and now very rich explorers such as Dema Acharya, Jafari Chaboy, or Ella Abadi? Well, the next one could be you. Who were the Arsath? As you probably already know, there is very little we actually know about the Arsath. As a matter of fact, we don't even know what they called themselves. The word Arsath, ancient in Scottish Gaelic, was chosen by our scientist as an homage to the Scottish ancestry of our founder and CEO, Mr. Fraser. We haven't been able to decipher the Arsath language just yet, but we shall keep trying. We do know that the Arsath must have been highly pragmatic. Newcomers to Karam Station are quick to notice that there are no ornaments or decorative elements, just plain forms and shapes. Everything here is extremely functional. By the scale of things, though, we suspect they are around about 7 feet tall and roughly humanoid in shape. With the help of valued team members like you, we will slowly but surely unravel this cosmic mystery and answer the most important question. Where did they go? Keeping Karam Station going. In order to meet the costs of maintaining Karam Station, all persons are required to pay a daily tax for air, temperature control, administration, and other services. If you are a guest, this cost is included in your hotel bill. Rates for other persons are posted. The tax may be prepaid up to 1 year in advance, if desired. Failure to pay the daily tax will result in immediate expulsion from Karam Station. Thank you for your collaboration, and once again, welcome to Karam Station. So this is the future in which we find ourselves. Is very corporate, it sounds like. It doesn't actually say in the main rulebook like what the daily tax is. If it's not included in your hotel fees, but the Karam Station Blues says it is 1 money per day. It's covered in here somewhere, amongst various other things. They have their own currency on the station. Of course they do, the Drake coin, which sounds like a crypto coin. Right, yes, so it is like 2085. That's... this is kind of an in-universe thing, so maybe this document in-universe is written in 2085. I think we do get like a date at some point of when it is. I feel like I've got like 200 years in the future in my mind somewhere. So, congratulations on being selected to explore the vast wonders the Arsath left behind. We are very excited to get to know you. Please follow these simple steps so we can learn who you are, why you're here, and what skills and abilities you can bring to our team. From now on, we shall refer to you as a deep diver, the title reserved for explorers like you. Just like the deep divers of old Earth did before the oceans died, you will venture into cold, vast unknowns to recover lost treasures and bring them to the light of humanity. As a new trained diver, you start your career at level 1. Let's do that. Level 1. Let's make that hex a little bit bigger, shall we? And a more visible colour. Let's go for green. Green's a good sci-fi colour. I'm decided to make the Miro a little bit more sci-fi. That's not a good font for this. I want like a... I could just make the text bolder. I want like a boldish font. Yeah, sure, let's just go for... that. So yes, it's a little bit more sci-fi looking with the black and the white and the red border and whatnot. Okay, so yes, we have a whole chapter on character creation, but there is an abbreviated system for creating NPCs, and we will be creating NPCs for this because when you go out on a mission, you go out with either just by yourself, which sounds like a terrible idea to me, really, or with a crew of 3, or with a crew of 5. And if you do not have a full crew, you are assigned like random NPCs to go on the mission with you. So I don't really want to be inventing new NPCs every session, so I'll probably just... I will, not just probably, I will just make 4 NPCs so we always have a complete crew of 5 to go with us. Right, so our attributes... they're basically the D&D attributes, with a slight difference. We have strength, dexterity, constitution, willpower, intelligence, and charisma. So there's no wisdom stat, but there's willpower. So all the stats are basically what you would expect in an RPG from those names. So strength determines how strong you are, how capable you are of performing feats of strength, such as lifting heavy objects or breaking things. Dexterity is how nimble you are, how good you are at dodging, jumping, using lockpicks, and otherwise using your hands. Constitution is how physically resilient you are, including how well you fare against harmful effects such as poisons or diseases. Intelligence is how cunning and capable you are at mental tasks such as solving puzzles and riddles or thinking things through before acting. And charisma is how likable you are, how easily you can get information and gain advantages with NPCs. So the difference, the new thing here is willpower, which defines mental strength and ego, including characters' ability to stand their ground and pull themselves together after suffering a knockdown during combat. So this is basically like POW. Power, if you have played like Call of Cthulhu or Delta Green, it sounds like exactly the same sort of thing, which makes sense because what else could willpower really mean, right? So each one starts at 8, and then we get 12 additional points to distribute amongst them, and we can go up to a max of 18. So let's just start by putting these in. Just to get a little bit off center. Yeah. Actually, I can just center this. Slightly easier. That'll work for different size numbers as well. Right, so I've got to think about what I want my character to be good at, because of course, sadly, you can't be good at everything. Though the core mechanic, just to jump ahead very slightly, is so you can see we've also got skills on the character sheet over here. The core mechanic is you're either doing an attribute roll or a skill roll, and what you do is you roll a d20, add your attribute or skill depending on the situation. You possibly apply some other modifiers, like you might subtract something if it's especially difficult, and then your target number is 20. So, assuming like no negative situational modifiers, just bumping a stat up to 10 gives you a 50-50. Well, just bumping a stat up to 9 actually gives you a 50-50 chance, because d20 plus 9 is going to be at least 10. So you have a pretty good chance of succeeding on rolls. I guess I was thinking about this when I was skimming through the rulebook, like what you can infer about a system from the primary mechanics. So if we contrast this with D&D, for instance, which the names of the stats at least are very, very close to, and so is the use of a d20. In D&D, you have your attributes, and then you produce attribute modifiers from those. So like you might have an 18, which corresponds to like a +3 or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a D&D person, but relatively small modifiers based on your stats. Like here in this game, if you had an 18 something, you'd be rolling d20 plus 18, whereas in D&D, you'd be rolling a d20 plus 3. Now, obviously, an 18 is quite a large number relative to the range of the die, whereas a 3 is quite a small number. So what that tells me is that in D&D, you're only supposed to roll in situations where chance plays a major part, because your actual like prowess, your ability doesn't actually influence the roll that much. Now, as I understand it, that's not really what people do in D&D. They roll a lot, and they introduce house rules around natural 20s and natural 1s and stuff to offset the fact that you fail all the time if you roll a lot. And of course, D&D uses variable target numbers. It doesn't just use a d20. So it's not quite a straight comparison. But in this system, because the target number is always 20 and your modifiers are quite large compared to both the target number and the die range, it feels like in this system you're probably going to like skill plays a much larger impact than luck does. So I'm not sure whether that means we'll be rolling more or less in this game, but I guess just a slight, possibly interesting observation. In D&D, luck is the major factor, whereas in Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, skill is the major factor in die rolls. Anyway, that was a bit of waffling to procrastinate, having to think about where I actually want to put these numbers. So let's see. Also just going to grab a piece of paper so I can scribble down how many points I have used. One moment. Okay, I have my piece of paper. Right, so I have it's 12 points to use. Got my dice over there. Right, let's see. So since I was about to say, I feel like I should make kind of leader-like character, but really any set of attributes could be a leader, I think. I think I want to actually roll for my character's background first to get an idea of what they might be good at. Like, oh, so let me just do that. Let's find a D10. 5. A hedge fund kid. You're one of the lucky ones, living the high life far from the rest of the world's hardships. Still, life became stale after a while, and you couldn't sit on your hands while others made history. You left it all behind, and now you have nothing but your determination. Okay. Is there a place to note this down? Background, yeah. So, let's left align this now. So we are a hedge fund kid. We'll come back to the rest of the background questions later. Back to attributes. Okay, as a hedge fund kid, probably so intelligence could be high because something I'm thinking maybe like strength could be low and intelligence could be high, because as a hedge fund kid you'd expect to not really have had to do much in the way of manual labor. Like, you've got people to do things for you, or at least your family does, and you'll have probably been sent to a very good school. So maybe I'm going to leave strength at an 8 for now. It would be kind of nice if there was like a standard array or set of standard arrays. That kind of are the NPC stats. You can just roll for which set of attributes they've got. So maybe I want to think this through. So let's leave strength low. Let's bump intelligence up to I don't know, 14. All right, so that's 6 points used. That's half my points. Let's put up willpower a little bit. Let's bump that up to 10. So that's 2 more points. I think dexterity. If I have low strength, I should have at least have high dexterity. Like, you need to be good in at least one of the physical stats, I think. I think dexterity is also used for like ranged combat. So like if I can't punch, I can at least shoot things. Let's put that up to 12. I can't put it up to 12. That would be hang on. Let's see. Have I miscounted something? That's 6, 4, 2. Yeah. Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So I could do this. Pretty. I do wonder, is it worth it? Is bumping something up to? If I put something up to 18, everything else is going to be really low. Let's just have a look at the NPC stats. Okay, so like 10s, 12s. It's kind of the same sort of range. So I guess the difference in my stat is an NPC stat, they might have like... Yes, I've got 3 things which are left as 8, where it looks like the NPCs generally have 1 or 2 things left at 8. Yeah, there's no NPC stat blocks that have 3 things left at 8, so maybe I do want to split up. No, I think I'm going to go for a high int character. Yeah, we'll go for a high int character, and if we personally have gaps, that's what NPCs are for. One character can't do everything. Okay, so we are not very strong, although we're still rolling a d20 plus 8, aiming for a 20. That's still a pretty good chance. We are quite dexterous, so we are good at... We're very nimble, we're good at dodging, jumping, using lockpicks, and otherwise using our hands. Constitution, we're kind of okay, but we won't be, fighting off any horrible alien diseases, I guess. Willpower, like we're decent at like standing our ground and pulling ourselves together, and we are quite smart. So we're quite cunning and capable at mental tasks. We're good at puzzles and riddles, thinking things through, and we're kind of middlingly charismatic. Yes, I figured I should have the helmet because, well, this is space. It's very dangerous to go out in space without a helmet. I wouldn't want to breathe vacuum. Right, so that's our base attributes. Now for the secondary ones. So, we start with 3 luck. We start with 10 stamina. Zero stress. And we can have up to 3 wounds. So I think we record here how many we can have up to, and then I think this then goes down to 0 as we take wounds. Okay, and we have this empty trauma box. So we'll come to that. Okay, so it's going to be the same. This is all going to be the same for every character. So luck, we can spend 1 luck to re-roll any damage roll or failed check, or we can spend all of our luck to negate a killing blow. We recover 1 luck up to a maximum of 5 at the end of every session. Stamina, we spend to do things in combat. I looked, a regular attack costs 5 stamina, so you could potentially attack twice in a round. But then there are different sorts of attacks and different things you can do that cost different amounts. Stress is kind of the sanity mechanic, I guess, in this game. And then wounds, there's no hit points. It's just if you run out of wounds, you die. Most enemies only have 1 wound. Well, I guess most enemies kind of take 2 hits before being taken out. So most enemies, it looks like the way it works is you have to kind of land a good enough hit that will knock them to the ground, and then land a second good hit which will use up their 1 wound. So that's kind of 2 things to do: knock them to the ground and then deal a wound. Right, skills. So skills range from 0 to 15. For a skill check, you roll a d20 and you add the skill's value, and again we're targeting 20. So if a skill can range from 0 to 15, if it's a 15, that means we're rolling a d20 plus 15 and we need to get 20 or more. So that's pretty good. We have 70 points. So we have no more than 10 points in a single skill. So our skills are Arsath Technology. Somewhat utilize or partially comprehend a piece of RSAF technology required for hacking any RSAF system. Due to RSAF systems' arcane nature, the skill begins at -5. Okay. We have close combat, fight using close range tactics with a variety of melee weapons such as knives, clubs, or even a wrench. We are going to be bad at that because we are not strong. Although I guess you could be, since it's not like we add an attribute and a skill to the roll. You would add a skill to a skill roll and an attribute to an attribute roll. So I guess I could be somewhat weak, but also be good at close combat. But I feel kind of fitting for the character to not be good at close combat. Let's fill these in with zeros, and then we'll have a look at the rest of the list. And let's yep, that's all central aligned. Good. Okay, so then we have oh, this list isn't alphabetized for some reason. Then we have manipulation, which is talk to an NPC. This is typically more beneficial than shooting at them. Sometimes a silver tongue or a well-placed threat is the only way to close a deal. Medical aid. Tie a tourniquet or stitch up a wound. This will save your life more than once. Once per area, after resolving all current challenges, pass a medical aid check outside of combat to remove one wound from your character. Use up one medical supply and one time. Perception. Find or be aware of things around you. It doesn't matter how many RSAF crystals you are holding back the ship if you don't notice the twisted abomination lurking behind you. Pilot. Pilot any kind of spacecraft, spaceship, or vehicle. Most characters aren't pilots, but you never know when it might come in handy. Because the spaceships we get into to take us to the ancient alien ruins have fancy ancient alien autopilot on them. Ranged combat. Fight using ranged weapons such as guns, pistols, rifles, anything in between. I think we're going to go for ranged combat over close combat. Probably put some points in close combat, but I'm going to put more in ranged combat. Have resolve. Withstand the psychological impact of exposure to the void's horrors. Each time a character would gain any amount of stress, they may roll a resolve check to reduce the amount to 1. Science. Recall and implement knowledge of the hard sciences. Whether it's biology or physics, the skill determines how knowledgeable a character is in these areas of expertise. Stealth. If given the opportunity, avoid a potentially deadly combat or perform an action while remaining undetected. Survival. Orient yourself or stay alive in a hazardous environment. Most RSAF environments are passable without a pressure suit, but that doesn't mean they're suited for human life. And finally, technology. Use technological devices, computers, electronics, or comms, or patch up a system. It's going to bug me now that this is just slightly unalphabetized, but whatever. Okay, so let's see. I have a smart, dexterous character. I think and 70 points to put in all these skills. So I'm going to put 10 into ranged combats. And let's put 5 into close combat. So I'm not totally useless there. I think science would fit with my high intelligence. So my character is, as I randomly rolled up, a hedge fund kid. So I think they probably had a good education paid for with their family's money. So I guess science, let's bump that up to 10. That's 25 points spent. What was it's manipulation, talking to people. I think definitely on perception to be good. I don't know if it's going to be the case that some skills are way more useful. But I'm going to have NPC crew members along with me so they can help fill up any gaps. Um, let's have a little bit in resolve and stealth. Something in medical aid. It's got 20 points left. I think I'm going to leave pilot as blank because it says most characters aren't pilots, and from skimming the system, we're not really going to be flying the alien spaceships around, at least. I could bump my RSAF technology up if I wanted to be able to like hack alien tech. I feel that's maybe a good thing. Yeah, let's put 10 points into this. It'll go up to 5. So I have 10 points left. I got nothing in survival or technology. I should put at least something in these. Because putting points in technology would kind of fit with. I don't just want to be like mediocre at everything. I could put 5 into each. Maybe I put 10 into technology. That's my 70 points. I'm going to take 5 out of stealth. And then put 5 into survival. I can have one of the NPCs be the stealthy one. That's 70 points, I believe. Just quickly add this up just to make sure. So 10, 5, 10, 5, 10, 5, 10, 5. I didn't mean to do alternating 5s and 10s, so that's apparently what I did. Okay. So yes, that's 70 points. All right, talents. Player characters have 5 talent slots. They're over here. Each time a PC gains a level, they roll once on the talent table. If a character with 5 talents learns a new one, they must discard an existing talent to equip it. Okay. When creating a die, I choose one talent, and it suggests different ones depending on your role. So I think maybe with my like intelligence and my tech skills, maybe like hacker might be a good sort of role. Like maybe an NPC is going to be like the leader of our strike team. I'm definitely not a medic with my only 5 in medical aid. I could also be a marksman, I guess. Let's just have a look at the suggested one. So kind of interested to check out marksman. Everybody calm down, and hacking. Everyone calm down. If you're the team leader, you may roll manipulation. I don't have any points of manipulation, so I don't want that. Hacking with uncanny ease, you can attempt to hack not only human computers but also some RSAT technology. Okay. And then marksman is +2 damage on ranged attacks. I'm leaning towards hacking, but let's just skim through the full list, I think. Yeah, I'm thinking hacking. Neutralize is also kind of interesting. Lets you study an opponent and then neutralize one of their unique abilities. Again, kind of fits with the like smartness. But I'm thinking hacking. Maybe my character didn't exactly choose to come out here. Maybe they were forced to come out here due to causing a slight family scandal by using their trust fund resources and fancy education to hack something. Okay, background. So we've already got this. We are a hedge fund kid, which gives us either +1 manipulation or +1 resolve. I think not manipulation because we've got nothing in it. Let's go for resolve. Very slightly better there. Basically, I'm going to be trying to avoid manipulation rolls because I'd be so bad at it. I like that Warlord is an option. The 22nd century is as rife with conflict as ever. You managed to take advantage of that situation, a situation you did not create. Someone had to do the killing. It might as well have been you. Okay, life-changing events. I think this is all over in... Yes. Okay, life-changing event. What happened to me? I suffered amnesia, blocking out a terrible event that you cannot remember. I'm kind of actually leaning towards this like hacking thing that I was suggesting. We should be got caught in a big scandal. Yeah, let's go for let's go for that. And how did I earn my place here? I feel like family money makes the most sense, but let's roll for it. 4. You got the money through illicit ways. Okay, maybe I stole a lot of money in my hacking, and I was like, oh no, I got caught when I didn't expect to be caught. I'd best leave Earth. Okay. Right. Most folks join the Crime Station initiative to chase wealth or fame. That's not true for everyone. Pick a main drive for your deep diver. The reason why they risk their life in the void. This is something very personal that most characters rarely share with others. Wealth. I feel wealth. As a trust fund kid, if I wanted wealth, I would just have stayed on Earth where it's safe. Power. Fame. Wanderer's Lust. That's quite a lot of these, actually. Knowledge, information, espionage, somewhere to belong. Nothing can stop you, and adrenaline junkie. I quite like this, like, running away from having committed a crime thing that I'm going for. So... that could be power. I think either power or somewhere to belong. So if I'm running away from a crime, power. Drake Industries is the largest, most powerful corporation in all of human space. If you want some of that power, there's no better way to get in than impressing the big guys with your feats and discoveries at Karam Station. This is the fastest, straightest path to power, and you are taking it. So that would be, like, I've committed a crime and run away, and my like long-term plan to get out of this is I'm gonna get a place for myself at this big, powerful company and just use that to like brush the whole thing under the rug. Whereas somewhere to belong is a much more I guess, like humble objective. You've been alone, or at least felt that way for your whole life. You're sick of it. It's time to find a cause larger than yourself, a place you can call home, a family that will risk their lives for you. Bonds forged in the void are forever, and that is all you want. So with that one, I'm kind of just like running away, entirely starting a new life out here. I'm leaning towards power. Other details. Okay. There's a bunch of these. Let's just roll from. Got 8. Okay, 6. When you're feeling confident, you interrupt those who know less than you. Let's shrink this a little bit. When you're feeling shy or lacking confidence, another D8. 5. Keep your hands in your pockets. When you're bored, you... 6. Twiddle your thumbs. When you're feeling happy, tell jokes. I think they're probably really bad jokes. Again, playing off the trust fund background. I'm not sure what a stereotypical servant name in the 22nd century will. Let's go with Jeeves. Like, Jeeves, I heard an excellent joke the other day. What do you guess when? And then just tell the most awful joke ever, and Jeeves has to laugh politely because his continued survival depends on my family liking him. 6 again. When you're feeling frustrated, you tap your foot. Tell bad jokes. Then a nervous tick, which I believe is over here, yes. So when the pressure starts to accumulate, stress manifests differently for everyone. Unfortunately for everyone, all PCs start with a nervous tick they use to cope with stress. Most are totally involuntarily, but after days upon days in close quarters with others, even the slightest spark can light a fire. 1. Coughing. Just nervously cough. Final details. Characters start with D20 times 100 Drake coins. This space station has its own currency to reflect the money they have left over after coming to Karm Station and paying for the mandatory orientation courses. Remember, staying in Karm Station is not free, and most characters are smart enough to set aside some cash to pay their bills, instead of burning it all at the red districts or buying some fancy new armor. Okay. Last but not least, give the character a name, gender, age, nationality, and any of the details you wish. Is there a list of names? That'd be quite handy. No, there isn't. Okay, I need to come up with a good sci-fi name. Okay, so we have 1,500 Drake coins. Where is money? Go. I believe that's a sizable amount of money. Let's go to the Karm Station. Something about like how much it costs to stay. Okay, so standard accommodation. Standard accommodation, a personal room, and unrestricted access to the library, gym, and virtual shooting range. The food is a combination of NutriPaste and actual meals. Most divers try to maintain this level of lifestyle. The standard tier includes a level 3 medical insurance policy. So that's 50 credits a week, so I could afford that quite comfortably. I'd also go for the gold class, 100 credits a week, but I would run out of money unless I start really raking the profit in. So maybe I'll start with this standard. Okay, name, gender, and age. Let's see. A fantasy name generator here. Futuristic names. So that's 50-50. Is it male? Is it the character male or female? I should have said which was which before I rolled. Let's say 1 to 3 is male, 4 to 6 is female. Okay, male. Random space male names. These are just normal names spelled weirdly. Let's see. Do we have like? Is there like a better sci-fi names? So we also have the sci-fi name generator on Dungeon, which can do different sorts. Space names. There we go. Rice Jenkins. Not sure why it's really funny to me. Let's go for this is obviously the hardest part about coming up with a character. This is why Morkan is such a great game. You don't have to come up with a name. It's just Morkan. It seems to be stuck. Oops, system error. Okay, let's just go back to this list. Silas is a pretty good name. Be Silas. Good futuristic surname. Let's just go with Silas. Unless we have unless the NPC things, does it have like a random list of names? How can it not have a list of names? Nope. I thought there was a list of names in this book somewhere. In the GM section with the solo rules, perhaps. Yeah, character names. And surnames. Okay, cool. Let's just roll 2d100 to see what we get here. Okay, so for our first name we have 14, so we have Wasim or Silas. I prefer Silas, I think. And then we have 71 as a surname. Tinibu. Possibly 14. Lang. Let's go with Lang. Silas Lang. That is who we are. Silas Lang of the Lang Stockbrokers. All right, I think that's the basics, I think. Yep, we've got notes for like armor and gear and stuff, but we'll get to that. As our emotional state starts as composed. So let's nice green blob. Slightly larger blob, perhaps. Yep, that'll do. So we are composed. Actually, I can just put an X and I can drag an X around. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so Deep Diver start at level 1. Every time a diver or crew submits 1,000 DC in valuables to the Crime Station Authority, this gives you 1,000 XP and you increase your level by 1. So it's basically XP for gold. Okay, so that's our guy. Let's make some NPCs. So we'll jump over to the random NPC crew members, and we'll move over our NPC sheet. This has four guys on, so that's what we need. Okay, right, let's get some names. So NPCs don't have skills, they just use their attributes to perform skill checks. And we have some guidelines of what they might roll. Dexterity seems a very powerful skill for NPCs. It covers medical aid, pilot, ranged combat, and stealth. Well, yeah. Alright, NPC names. So we also have some more stuff about them. Okay, I guess we also want 2d6s as well. So this person has a female appearance. They are elderly. That seems... Old woman exploring space seems a bad choice. Elderly female appearance. Their name is 43. Oh, no, their descriptor is... Oh, there's so many things to roll for who these NPCs are. 39. As a descriptor, they're impulsive. This sounds like a terrible person to go to space with. And their name is Nikita. $35. Vought. Quirks and gossips. Then we have some stuff about how they're feeling, just generally. Okay. Running low on dice. Let's roll this d10. 8. She is friendly and is addicted to nicotine gums. Okay, So we have Nikita Vaught, an old woman who is impulsive but friendly and addicted to nicotine gum. Right, so okay. Also recommends giving them some backstory and stuff. I can maybe flesh those out later. Oh no, that is using the tables I just rolled out. Okay, right. So let's roll up some stats. Actually, since I was right on these tables and had all the dice in hand, let's just go through this for all of our NPCs, and then we'll work out stats and stuff for them in a moment. So, okay. Let's see, so what? Can I roll all the dice at once? So I need 2d6s for this, I need d100 for this, and this, and this. Then I want another d10. I'm out of d10s, I guess I can roll a d20 for that. And a d20 for this. Okay, right. I think I can roll all the dice at once then. Alright, this person is... got a 5 and a 4. Androgynous, middle-aged. Middle-aged and androgynous. They are 3 trained. Their name is 55. Myrtis 49. Myrtis Mancini. And their nature is 6. Social. And their quirk is also 6. They always have a relevant story about one of their uncles. Social, okay. Sure, Myrtis will help pass the time on these weeks-long spaceship voyages by regaling us tales of their uncles. Alright, next. Four and 2. Male appearance, young. A young man. 27. They are fancy. Their name is 865. Miesha Lombardo. They are shady. I found the rogue, I guess. And addicted to nicotine gums. Okay. Must be an epidemic in the future. Right, yes. And then we have number 4 over here. Right. Okay, so this person is young and androgynous. They are 69 principled. Their name is 9949. Zhao. Mancini. We've already had a Mancini. Let's just pick a different one. Zhao. Smith. Smith still survives 2 centuries in the future. Let's go with the next one. Zhao Price. They are confrontational. Fits with being principled. And their quirk is they are always flipping an old coin. Okay. Right, so we have some personalities. Now let's jump over to these. So what am I rolling here? A D6 for the attributes. And then a D20 for the talent. Okay, I just pick other things. All right. Okay, so Nikita Vaught, elderly female, impulsive, friendly, addicted to nicotine gums. She is she's got some decent stats. Let's copy over my. Oh, these they're not going to be aligned because these hexes are bigger. Okay. I guess I'll just focus in. Okay, so we've got 10. Center align this again. $10, 12. That's about right. Okay, 10, 12, 8, 10, 10, 10. Just copy these down here. Okay, they start with 3 wounds. They have 2 points of defense. And they gain 1 stress every time a PC gains any stress. So I guess it starts at 0. It's going to be the same for all of them then. They don't have any skills. Yep. Okay. Talents. So we got an 8 for our talents. It says roll or choose. So we might change some of these talents up if they don't seem to fit. So is she fast? This elderly woman who is addicted to chewing nicotine gum. She's very fast. Maybe. Let's have a quick skim through the list. Yeah, sure, let's go with fast. +1 to initiative there. And she is living. Let's check the living box. That's very important to know. Okay, I think that's her. So now for the next one, Myrtis. Oh no, let's quickly have a look. Yes, we've got all that. Mention motivations and goals. Where were those? Yeah, not really sure what I was referring to with rolling on chapter in that a table in that chapter for goals. Whatever, it's fine. I can make up goals later if I want for them. Okay, and what gear do they have? Probably standard gear. So that's going to be a Fire Slinger GL, which I assume is some sort of gun. Got some body armor. Oxygen pellets. Nice. Make the text of these a little bit smaller, actually. Running out of space. 10 lots of ammo. And 10 lots of batteries. So probably most of them are going to start with standard gear. I think I'm probably the hacker in the group, so no one's going to be taking the hacker gear. Because there might be like a support or an assault person. Okay, right, let's move on to Myrtis Mancini. Yep, yes, that is all the NPC stuff. Okay, Myrtis Mancini. That's the same attribute array. Okay. 12, 10, 12, 8, 8, 10. Okay, so somewhat tougher. Talent is 18, which is targeted strikes. Gains +1 to all rolls in the hit location table. I assume that means that like higher numbers on the hit location table tend to be more like weak areas. I'm not going to put down what they do. I'm sure we'll learn this soon enough. Probably standard gear as well, unless let's have a look. I suppose assault possibly with the targeted strike that kind of fits there. So what does assault get? As it gets a different gun, but it's otherwise the same. Let's have a look at gear. Weapons. So we have a Fire Slinger GL or a Requiem B99. Fire Slinger GL. Right, I see. GL stands for Grenade Launcher. Okay. So I can do D10 damage or D10 plus 10 damage with grenades. It is slow. However, what does slow mean? can only be used every other round. It's not great. Then the Requiem B99. Is a rifle. So it is not slow, it has this powerful trait. Users can perform a heavy attack. Ooh, that page number was hyperlinked. I like that. Heavy attack deals plus d6 damage. Okay. And the standard damage is just a +5 rather than like a plus d10, so it's more predictable. And you can fire every round. Yeah, I think this is probably a good option. Let's make this character an assault character. Was it a carbine? Yeah. Okay, now we have Zhao Price, possibly Shao Price, I don't know. Got a 4. Just 10s across the board. He's a very even character. He's principled, as we know. He wouldn't prioritize any one stat over the other. That would be favoritism, which is not very principled. And then his talent is 2, backstab. I feel backstab doesn't fit with being a very principled person. 15. I think we just got that for no pack mule. That fits as being principled. The NPC perfectly arranges the things in their back. Gain +4 gear slots. Okay. So Zhao is the gear carrying guy. And finally, we have Miesha. Who also has this set. That's the same set as Myrtis. Let's reroll that. Like them all have different stats. 3. Okay. I think we've got the stats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so that's 8, 10, 10, 12, 12, 8. So it's a kind of smart character. What sort of gear we should give them? Like, smart makes I think maybe support, but dexterity is medical aid, actually. I guess they could maybe do support. Okay, what's the talent? They got 17 strong. Deal +2 damage on all melee attacks. I feel that's not a good one for them because their strength is only an 8. Hacking. No, that's my niche. Okay, they can be. They can have. I think in field medic. This person can be a field medic. It just gives them advantage in all medical aid rolls. And then I'll give them the support gear. Oh, I didn't pick the gear for Xiao. Well, let's do Miesha first. So support, they get the body armor. And then they have 2 medical kits. 2 anti-rad pills. Have the 10 oxygen pellets, 10 ammo, and 10 batteries. Okay. Okay. Zhao's gear. They are entirely average. Probably just standard gear then. Just copy this. Okay, I think that's some NPCs. Do I start with gear? Maybe not. Yeah. Okay. That might be everything sorted then. Well, I guess I'm gonna. Okay, let's start with Carm Station Blues because this covers like arriving at the station and getting set, and yeah, we'll kind of do a bit of that, and then we won't do the site exploration in this module because I want to get to the like rules of actually rolling up adventure sites. But we can do some of the station stuff, and I want to do some shopping. I think because like all these guys have like body armor and stuff. I do not, and I've got a decent amount of money, so I should buy some decent things. Okay, Karam Station Blues by Richard Kelly. The in-flight air is stale with sweat. The twin reeks of oily packaged rations and acrid powdered green tea cut through it, demanding attention. Attention that no one else in steerage class is willing to give. An attendant walks the aisle every 20 minutes, selling souvenirs and nips of Drake Industries in-flight vodka. But most passengers' heads are down, so even despite being a trust fund kid, I'm in steerage class. The mood is meditative. A few of the people sitting shoulder to shoulder might be junior admin staff, janitors, or medics, or food court workers. A few might be family members who come to pick up a coffin. The rest are like you, prospective divers, and like you, their thoughts are on death. The price of advancing science, of advancing Drake Industries' hold over the human economy, is that some unlucky souls die horribly out in the void. Some get rich too, and maybe you'll be lucky. The cat that walks out of the box, unpoisoned with radiation, but you can't be sure. Across the aisle, some other poor bastard coughs. Assuming he's a diver, you know the odds. In the next few days, his corpse will be decorating some distant world. Maybe yours will be too. It sounds like a terrible place to work. Right. I can roll a social travel event to chat with the guy sitting next to me if I want. Um, sure, why not? My character is not charismatic, but um, it's a flight. It's a long flight from Earth. Gotta pass the time somehow. Let's get into it. Two crew members start a conversation. Start the random conversation. I passed the flights in like small talk. The random conversation. Hmm. Where was the? Was it somewhere in here, perhaps? think there'll be a lot of like referring to rules in these first few sessions as we kind of get used to it. Random conversation. Sometimes two characters will chat and you want to know how it affects them or what they discuss. This can be between two NPCs, two PCs, or one PC and one NPC. Okay. So, we have conversation topic. We also have action and theme tables and how they feel about this. I see we have like a story arc generator as well. That'll be fun to get into. Okay, so we started up a conversation with the guy sat next to us on the flight from Earth. It's like a 2-week flight or something. And at some point we talk about their skills. So I guess maybe this person is also a prospective diver. And so yeah, we're talking about what we can do, what they can do. We're good with computers. You know, we've heard this RSAT alien tech stuff is beyond anything humans have got. But you know, we studied a bit back on Earth. Maybe we can. Yeah, we feel confident we can try a little bit. Maybe this person is one of our NPCs we're going to meet. Actually, yeah, let's say it's one of our NPCs, and this is how we meet them. The others will meet like on Karam Station. We might be roommates or something. So let's just roll for who this is. It is Zhao, who is completely average in every way. What skill could Zhao be talking about? Oh God, what is Zhao good at? Principled, confrontational. Yeah, Zhao's amazing mundanity. Like, you need a Zhao on your missions, so that when everything is going crazy and people are losing their minds, they can just look at Zhao, the ocean of tranquility that they are, and realize that even if everything seems crazy, there is an oasis of normality in your midst. They have a very calming presence. Well, okay, Zhao's talent is that they're a pack mule. So on the flight from Earth, Zhao's like, look how efficiently I packed my bag. And we're just like, wow, that's amazing. I can tell how principled you are from the careful arrangement of items in there. How do we react to this conversation? We're disapproving. Okay, we don't really hit it off. And so both I and Zhao are going to gain 1 stress. Okay, excellent starts. Let's quickly check stress rules. Stress. Yeah, so we get stressed from lots of situations. When it gets to 3, we start to have our nervous tick. Suitcase feng shui, yes, exactly. Passed down in Zhao's family but for centuries. Okay, well, we have a not very thrilling conversation with Zhao on the journey. We could elect to be in business class. It comes with free health insurance when we arrive at the station. No, I'm going to preserve my precious money and use it to buy like guns and stuff because I feel very vulnerable not having anything. I think I had to flee Earth in a hurry, so I just probably got the first seat I could Probably the first class tickets are booked out a little while in advance, so I'm in steerage with all the money I have left, escaping my crimes. And it's actually free. So divers that don't pay for business class don't need to spend any Drake coins on the flight, or they will be charged an 80 DC fee should they attempt to return home without ever undertaking a mission. This is in addition to the regular 80 DC fee for a return flight. So if you're traveling to the station, your travel fee is like waived, assuming that you do a thing. There's some security officers on the flight. I feel we're not going to cause any trouble. Neither I nor Zhao seem the troublemaker type. Who knows? Tempers may flare. Alright, arrival at Karam Station. Disembarkation is silent and brusque. The crew triple checks the seals before cycling the airlock, then they hurry all passengers out. Possessions left behind are property of Drake Industries, so you grab your gear securely before exiting the shuttle onto the tarmac. I don't have any gear. Is there like a buy gear step that I missed in character creation? Final details. Yeah, there isn't a buying gear step in character creation, though I will be doing so when I get to the station. Maybe some of this gear that I'm about to buy on the station I brought with me. Who knows? Anyway, entry to the station involves passes through yet another airlock. This one sold after the incident with a capital I. And when it finally hisses open, you push through and are surrounded by the vigor and noise and the smells of civilization. Even out on the edge of known space, in a habitat built by inhuman hands, there's the mingled aromas of moxa, which I don't know what that is, and curry leaves and tobacco smoke and fry oil in the air. You can see hundreds of the bodies moving up and down the tarmac, regular inhabitants of the station, busy with the process of living. What if things aren't going to be so bad after all? So, we have a few things we should check out here, which we can just kind of like run through before we get to our shopping. So essentially we're going to spend like a few days sorting out our affairs here and like signing the paperwork to become a diver and doing some shopping and stuff. So price at the hotel begin with 20 Drake coins per cycle, and a cycle is a day, so 20 coins a day. So that 1,500 isn't going to last a huge amount of time. Whereas if we are staying in the station itself, once we like actually sign up to be a diver, it's like 50 a week or something. If I could find it, yes. So it is way, way cheaper to be a diver. I guess that's because they confiscate like half of what you bring back. So you're paying for it in another way. So on the station, I need to pay for my first day, so just mark that money off. I suppose I need to keep track of how long I'm here as well. Is there anywhere to track like time on this sheet, or do I just have to make a note somewhere? I'm just back to make a note. Let's go up here. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just playing some Across 1,000 Dead Worlds, which is a like space horror game about exploring the universe in alien spacecrafts that we can't really control the destinations of. Let's see. Checked in at the hotel. It is about exploring the universe, yes. So the premise is it is set in the 22nd century, and when commercial asteroid mining is a thing, and one company bought an asteroid that turned out to have an alien spacecraft hangar inside, with hundreds of ships that have pre-programmed destinations. And so crazy people, such as my character, it's okay if you're not entertaining. I mean, as the person streaming, I'm kind of supposed to be the one entertaining the viewers. So that's how it goes. Yes. So I am here to explore the universe and make money or die trying. I mean, maybe. I do somewhat envy the streamers who have an active chat, as it seems like it's good to riff off what people in chat are saying, but because that's like an extra rather than the requirements. So checking in at the hotel, I've done that. I paid money for a day, and at the restaurant, apparently the asteroid trout souffle on a bed of stardust is the meal to die for, literally, because it is radioactive. I think I will not be going for that. Right, securing personal quarters. So there's a minimum of 1 day wait to get a room. So that's the day I'll be spending at the hotel with the money I've just marked off here. Medical insurance. I think that comes with the room if I get a standard quality room, which I've yes, here we go. Yeah, so the standard quality room comes with level 3 medical insurance, so I will not be specifically buying medical insurance. And let's see how much it costs and what you get, though. Okay. It is the Prism model. Yes, it's pretty good. It has a lot of options. Okay, level 3 medical insurance. Reduces costs by 20%. That's okay. I will keep that. I'm not going to pay for the better medical insurance just yet. You're into customizable models? Ah, I see. Well, I'm afraid I have to warn you, if you're hoping to sell me a model, I'm okay with this one for now. Okay. So next is the air temperature and administration tax, which costs 1 credit per cycle for divers, 5 per cycle for tourists, and it's included in my hotel fee. So the 20 credits I've just paid cover that for the first day, and for following days, I will just be marking that off 1 day at a time. And then finally, with great solemnity, I and Zhao, who is very principled and want to do this immediately because of how principled they are, we go into the heart of the asteroid. I think we have a map of the asteroid somewhere. Let's find that. Yeah. Here we go. So we head into the heart of the asteroid to mission control to sign the paperwork, effectively saying, our families won't sue you if we die while out exploring space. And I think there's probably some really bored person in mission control who just like, I imagine a room that smells of cigarette smoke, even though we're in space, and so smoking seems like a really bad idea. I imagine a kind of dingy somewhat cramped room full of like computers and filing cabinets and stuff. Do they smoke in space? I think they probably do in this case. So I'm picturing like a just a like a standard like office room type thing, like filing cabinets and computers all over the place, um, reeking of cigarette smoke, and um, as like a counter, we go in and say like we're here to sign the paperwork, we're here to become deep divers and explore the cosmos. And some very bored looking person just hands over this like really thick sheaf of paperwork and just like periodically asks if we're done reading yet and whatnot. Maybe vaping, possibly. So two of the NPCs I've rolled up are addicted to nicotine gums. So I guess there's nicotine gum in the future, but I think there's probably smoking as well. This feels like the everyone smokes future rather than the everything is super clean future. So we do that. We sign the thing. And I think that's it. So the rest of this little booklet has a lot of information about what we can do on the space station, but I think that's probably fine. Don't really there's the chest bursters in this game, I guess. Um, yeah. Okay. Bye. Thanks for dropping by. Um, yeah. I guess we can get to generating missions and stuff. So let's see. We are an hour and 42 minutes in, so I will have, and I'm out of tea, so I'll have a very brief break to stretch my legs and get something more to drink, and then we will try to roll up an adventure site and fly our spaceship there and see what happens. So I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm back. Let's roll up an adventure site and go on a thrilling space voyage. So, okay, right, so, well, I guess first we need to meet our other NPCs. So, a day passes while Zhao and I wait for rooms. We then, let's see, Zhao probably goes to the basic accommodation, not being a trust fund kid. But I have my standard room, which is quite nice, a personal room with unrestricted access to library, gym, and virtual shooting range. Zhao, I think, probably has the basic room, so it is a shared room. And all the, well, not even all the rehydrated NutriPaste you can eat. It's only rehydrated NutriPaste 6 days a week. So, yes, a day passes in the hotel. Probably just like wandering out and sightseeing a bit. I'm not really sure what there is to sightsee. I think there's a few different districts on the ship, the station rather. I want to do some shopping. Yes, let's do some shopping. So I go sightseeing and go to the gun shop or whatever. Okay, so purchasing gear. Okay, so you actually kind of like lease your gear, and it is held in storage for you, and given to you at the start of a mission. Okay. So basic gear is always available. Limited gear is available if you need to roll on a d20. And there's some sort of like standard gear you get on your missions. So let's it's somewhere in here. So choosing supplies for an expedition, perhaps. Okay, so the basic supplies. I think. Let's see. The KSA grants each crew member a basic survival package of rations and oxygen, but crews who can afford the space and the cost usually pack extra provisions, medical supplies, weapons, scanners, and other useful devices. So I guess we get each person will be given this list, this basic survival package, and then the group as a whole, I think, will get one of these crew packages. I think by one per crew here, it means like one per like group of people. So if I don't buy anything, I will get a vac suit, a hazmat suit, 5 oxygen pellets, 5 batteries, an alprazolam pill. I don't know what that does. A service pistol and a combat knife, but I'm sure I could get some better gear than that. So I'm not really a melee fighter. Like I'll do it if I have to, but the baton here just seems strictly worse than the combat knife. Could maybe get a nanocarbon knife. No, I cost 1,200. Yeah, not doing that. I could maybe buy a. Well, okay, let's have a look. It'd be nice to have something that's got a bit more range, perhaps. I don't want to really close with enemies. I think I also want like hacking gear. Maybe I want like a rifle. I've got decent range. Maybe it's like a standard assault rifle. So the difference is this one is full auto, this one is powerful. What is the difference? Full auto, you can do suppressive fire. Powerful, you can perform a heavy attack. It's like being able to do suppressive fire seems useful. So yeah, I might go for this this rifle. But let's have a look at the other gear first. All sorts of grenades, armor. I think I want armor. So the NPCs have all started with personal body armor, which costs 400. And yeah, I guess I want to buy the body armor. So let's mark 400 off my stuff. It's kind of odd that NPCs all start with body armor, even though it costs 400 credits. So there's actually a reasonable chance you wouldn't be able to afford it as a PC. But anyway, let's get so it offers basic torso protection and an optional helmet for when there is no need for a full vac suit. Does that mean you can wear this with a vac suit if you don't have the helmet? I would assume you can't wear personal body armor with a vac suit. But let's find I want to know about like encumbrance and stuff. Tracking gear. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I guess what I want to know is so the vac suit. It says it utilizes the full body suit slots. Does that mean that I cannot also have something that uses the back torso and waist slots? I would assume so, but unless I can find something that says otherwise, yeah. Okay, I'll assume that I can't wear a vac suit and some other armor at the same time. Just a little odd that it says it offers an optional helmet for when there is no need for a full vac suit if you can't wear this with a vac suit anyway. But whatever, I will buy this. It takes up three. Oh, it takes up 3 gear slots. So actually, these people aren't as free with their slots as I thought. Oops. So let's increase the line spacing. Not really. Put in new bits of text. Let's find the Fire Slinger GL. Let's just see how many slots that takes up. I'm assuming it's going to be 1, but I suppose it could be 2. What? Where is the Fire Slinger? Ah, there we go. I scrolled past it. Yes, 1 gear slot for the Fire Slinger, and the carbine is 2 gear slots. Okay. Let's move these up here. So if you've got the like assault, whatever it was called, gear, that basically uses up half your slots. Although it said, let's jump back to tracking gear. All characters carry a backpack which can hold a total of 15 gear slots. And an item's gear slots is only counted when carried, not worn. So armor gear slots 3 takes up 3 spaces in a character's bag, but 0 if the character's wearing it. Okay, right. Okay, I don't care about how much it takes up when they're. I suppose maybe I do. Just a little odd that every character has a backpack which holds 15 slots, and yet there's only 10 slots on the NPC like gear list. Like a little bit of like just a weird gap. Whatever, it's fine. If need be, I can spill over or make notes elsewhere, I suppose. Okay, right. So back to my shopping. So yes, I was thinking of getting a rifle, which I think are in this direction. Yeah, I was thinking of getting the AW and S, which costs 300, and also the body armor. So let's note down that I have KSA body armor, which takes up 3 slots. Just assume I'm carrying everything to start with, and we can adjust this later. I need a lockpick device. Definitely want one of those. So this is light, that means you can fit 10 in a slot or in your pockets. Blue is a fancier lockpick, which costs more, but I need to roll for it. Yeah, lockpick pro costs 800. Let's go for the standard lockpick, 400. Oh, geez, spending all my money. Okay, I can. I mean, there are lots of things that would be nice to have, but I can skip them, I think, for now. Basic equipment. Toolkit. Which does not come as standard. Alprazolam. There we go. A short-acting tranquilizer commonly used in short-term management of anxiety disorders. These days is called a diver's best friend. Reduces stress by 5, but taking it daily for 3 days causes addiction. They must continue taking it daily or suffer -1 will until a week has passed without them taking any alprazolam. Combat drone. Cool. Okay. I feel a toolkit is maybe not that useful because this is only good for human-made devices, and we're going to be interacting with alien-made devices. We pass on the toolkit, but let's buy a better gun. So the AW and S, which takes up 2 gear slots. Why is that a different... why is my font size changed? Right, yes, I made this small so I could fit it in. Okay, and the AWS costs 300, so I'm down to 380 credits. I spent so much. Okay, and let's actually copy over all of the gear that our characters have. onto the whiteboard, so not referencing. So let's see. So a level B hazmat suit. I guess we can just put this over here for now. Level B hazmat suit, a vac suit. We've got the KSA body armor. Actually, it's just going to be easiest to have a copy of the PDF open at the gear section. Let's do that. Okay, right. I think that's gear sorted. So I believe we can get to scheduling a mission now. So it is now cycle 2. So on cycle 1, we kind of checked in, I did some shopping. Cycle 2, we get access to our rooms. So I go to my personal room. Just making some notes. So on the flight, I met Zhao. We kind of have a slightly awkward conversation about how efficiently packed his bag is, which leaves both of us thinking, well, that was an odd conversation. On the first day, we both check into the hotel. Presumably we exchange contact information or whatever, as we think this person's a little odd, but they seem somewhat competent. I mean, Zhao is perfectly average at everything, so surely a great person to have along with you on your expeditions. And then just kind of split up to do our own thing. So I go and do some shopping. I feel very unprepared seeing Zhao with his gun and oxygen pellets and ammo and batteries and body armor. I buy some body armor and a gun and lockpick myself. Then the next day we get access to our actual rooms. We have signed all the paperwork. We are now officially divers. So I go into my private room. Zhao goes into his shared room, and we make plans to try to do a mission together. So I contact mission control to try and get things set up, and Zhao says, "Hey, I've met some reasonable people in my shared room. I can bring a few of them along to kind of fill up the crew roster." And because we have a choice between a 3-person ship or a 5-person ship, we decided to go with a 5-person ship. So Zhao is bringing over 3 people from his room, who are Nikita Vort, Myrtis Mancini, and Miesha Lombardo. And so on day 3, or cycle 3, we meet at mission control. And 2 days have passed, so I need to, I'll pay off my room tax and my air tax and whatever, I guess outside of session. That's not very interesting. I'm just keeping track of the days here. I can mark it all off at the end. Right, so missions. PCs reports to Kime Station's mission control, usually around 24 hours before launch, to select a destination and the starship. Okay. The 3 starships are the 1-person circle, the 3-person triangle, and the 5-person pentagon. Starship must be fully staffed to be approved for launch, so NPC crew members will be assigned to any remaining seats. We have a full crew. And we can either choose a known destination or an unknown destination. The former is safer since the crew will have information on the site and the voyage there, but there will always be fewer artifacts than an untouched site. I think we'll go for a known destination. Next, the crew gathers their gear, decides what supplies they'll take, and boards the ship. Okay, within the constraints imposed by the KSA and the ship's size. So let's see what supplies, how much space we can have. Choosing the right spaceship. Okay, so it has 160 free gear slots. Let's see, it's got this isn't going to add up to 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So we're using up 36 of the 160 free gear slots. That's fine. That means we have plenty of space to bring back fantastic amounts of alien loot. The KRM-05, colloquially known as a Pentagon, this model has a diameter of 70 feet. As all RSAF ships, it has a single smooth floor, no discernible controls, and a constant diffuse light emitted by something behind the polished walls, which turns itself on as soon as someone boards the ship. So we get on, the lights come on immediately. It's kind of weird, and we just deposit all of our stuff. Let's see. After the journey, the crew can explore the site while documenting their findings on their site report sheets, which we have. Okay, so we have our voyage log. I guess this is going to be kind of our like session log thing. So let's move this up here. We only need one of these, I guess. And then we're going to need different copies of these for different sites. So it's just I guess we can work horizontally. Put like a line down. Have a dividing line, and then we'll have our stuff for the first site. Yes, this nice cyberpunk blue. We'll name this site in a moment. Okay, finally, whenever the crew is ready, they can return back to Crime Station and report their findings. Okay. Yes, there's stuff to do on Crime Station, but I think we just want to get out there immediately. Let's just quickly skim through the overview of Crime Station, make sure I'm not missing anything like super important. It says carousing. You fall in love. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like super important that I need to do before we can go out. Yeah, we probably just spend like a day. I probably spend part of day 2, like after I've arranged the mission. After we've arranged the mission, I should say, just like wandering around the like hangar, looking at all the weird alien spacecraft. Yes, you've come here in search of quick riches and fame. By the end of the month, 2/3 of you will be dead or lost. Lovely. Okay. All right, so we're ready. We've got a team leader. I'll be the team leader. We've chosen our spaceship. We need to pick a name for the ship. Okay, I suppose there has already been a name chosen since we're going to a known voyage, a known site, and each ship has like a pre-programmed set of places. So this is a ship that has been used before, but we can roll a name to see what the previous crew called it. So we need to roll for a name and an adjective. Our ship is the Kronos. Oh, it was a D20 for the Kronos. The Bright Kronos. I wonder what we put the ship name here, maybe? No, don't want the giant text. The Bright Kronos. Right, yes. Date, ship, arrival. Okay. So there's week knots, week 0, cycle 3 when we are setting off, and we'll arrive some weeks in the future. Traveling to a known destination. Yes, this is what we are doing. 2 types of known destinations: sites that they themselves have explored, and sites which a different crew have explored. So we are going for a site a different crew has explored, because obviously I have not explored a site previously. If the crew chooses to visit a site which has been partially explored by another team, the site will be randomly assigned by the KSA, that is the Karam Station Authority, mostly to avoid accusations of favoritism. The previous crew's report will detail what type of site it is and what they encountered. To show this, simply black out half the resources and xenoanthropological finds and generate half of the potential encounters. The rest of your sheet is blank as usual, to be discovered by your crew. Okay, so I guess I need this site expedition report. Black out half the resource. I see, right, okay. And then generate half the encounters. So okay, so it's based on how like big the site is and whatnot. I guess I can do this when I get there. Actually, no, I kind of want to do this now. Okay, arriving at the expedition site. So you arrive after weeks of travel. Roll D100 to determine what sort of site it is. Say 17. It is a large derelict ship. How do I generate it? Okay, names. 3D100 to name the site. So it is the Zaz. Though Zaztho 223955. Roll the site's original purpose. Say D20. If it turns out it's a site that requires like biohazard suits or whatever, or like some gear that I don't have, I'll just re-roll because obviously I wouldn't have chosen to go to a site that I didn't have the gear for. Like that would be dumb. Okay, it was originally a bio research and containment facility on a spaceship. That sounds risky. Feeling very alien here. There's bioresearch and containment, a place to study, evaluate, and even contain the many life forms the RSF came across. Oh boy. And what happened to it? So this is something that we possibly don't know, I think. It was associated with a wondrous technology. Okay, so maybe some cool artifacts were brought back by the last crew who visited this place, which is why it's been like added to the roster for repeat visits. Okay, and then overall descriptor a D12, and this system really uses all the dice. 12. Built in a characteristically non-Arsath style. Okay. It is not on a planet, so we'll just... that one. Activity and known threats. Let's see. After rolling the site's purpose and descriptors, roll d6 to determine the maximum number of potential ambushes. Ambushes are not your usual encounters. These known threats, or chasers in diver lingo, are independent from the site standard encounters. Each time the time track resets, roll a d10 to perform an activity check. The result is a 1 to 2. You are ambushed by a randomly determined known threat. These encounters are considered ambush attacks. Okay. Right, okay, so possible encounters. So let's just jump back to scheduling a mission. Was this something I halved? Generate half of the potential encounters. Okay, so I guess I have the D6 encounters, but I think it's this that I'll generate half of them for. Okay, right, so D6 possible encounters. 6 possible encounters, lovely. So we've got those random encounters. I see, right, okay, yes. So the 6 does mean there are 6 encounters, but it also means it is extremely active. Guess that makes sense for an abandoned biocontainment and research facility. It's no longer containing things. All right. Then the dominant site hazard. Okay. 5. Lockdown. Okay. This means you'll need to break down or hack through all the doors, which is good that I'm a hacker who's brought my lockpicking stuff. It's locked down. The facility is in complete lockdown, making it difficult to get inside and explore. Every single area's access point is locked. There's presumably like vents and things that creatures are able to crawl through, which is why it is extremely active, but not like passable for humans. Okay, size. Four. It's huge. Okay, here we go. Yep, up here. Okay, size determines how many areas, resources, pseudo-anthropological finds and unique encounters it will contain. The crew can leave at any time. Once the sheet has been filled, the crew can be certain there is no reason to link or return to the site. Okay, so a huge site, D20 plus 40 resources, of which half will be gone because we're returning to this site. Okay, so 45 resources, of which 22 are gone. Right, so I guess it's 45 here. Then I want to block off 22 here. Two. If that's 5. 10. 15. 20. 22. What do we got here? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes, 60 is what it goes up to. So let's just mark off the other ones, I guess. So we've got 45, so we've got 10, 20, 30, 40. So it's all like these ones onwards. Yeah, let's make these ones like red. Yeah, okay, so we have like these resources to find, of which there should be like 22. Let's just make sure. 10, 20, 23. Yes, okay. We have D20 plus 40 anthropological xenoanthropological finds. 19. Oh. Okay. So 59 xenoanthropological finds. Of which 29.5, let's say 30, have been found. 1, 2, 3. And there's 1 unavailable. And up to 12 unique encounters. So it says a D12. So let's roll our D12. It'll tell us how many unique encounters we've got, and we want to generate half of them. 1. 1. There's only 1 unique encounter we have here. That's weird. So it is an extremely active site, like overrun with whatever was contained here, but there's only one sort of thing, actually. Huh. Okay, right, encounter. How do we... let's... I guess mark off um, these guys. So there's only one unique encounter. Huh. Okay. Right, so I've not looked at this, like the antagonist chapter of the book at all, so this is kind of interesting. So roll for the difficulty. 20. Oh no, overwhelmingly difficult. Okay. Go to the antagonist chapter. The galaxy is full of horrors. Creatures of all types that can and will kill an unsuspecting crew if they're not stopped. I don't want an overwhelming thing. 15. What do we got for 15? Elite. Maybe we'll just go for standard. Actually, I feel like standard is fine for the antagonists at our first exploration sites. Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, hang on. The first thing you must determine when facing an encounter is what exactly you are encountering. This varies depending on the crew is 1, 3, or 5 members. Really? How do I do that? Let's jump over to the antagonists chapter. Okay, the galaxy is full of horrors, creatures of all types that can and will kill an unsuspecting crew if they are not stopped. Tales of tentacled nightmares or swift, sleek abominations abound, and it is almost impossible to find a runner who hasn't had a close encounter with the many faces of death that populate our South facilities. Due to the infinite nature of the universe, it is practically guaranteed that whatever horrors the crew faces, nobody has seen them before. This is true in virtually all situations except one, Arsath Guardians. These constructs are commonly found within Arsath facilities, and they obviously serve a protective function, a function they keep fulfilling despite their masses having disappeared millennia ago. Okay. Right, this is the same difficulty table as before, so when the crew faces an encounter result on the site exploration table, it's time to define exactly what exactly they ran into. So we choose the difficulty, generate its characteristics, and use the appearance table to determine how it looks. Okay, so we don't have a bestiary here. We're rolling up random creatures. Okay. Other than the known threats, which look pretty horrible, actually. Oh, these are awful. And so we're going to have 6 possible encounters. All right. Creature variety and encounter size vary depending on the number of crew members. Okay. Even if crew members die, the difficulty will remain the same for that expedition. So this means a 5-member crew that loses 2 members will still roll on the 5-member crew tables while generating encounters. Okay, so the difficulty kind of scales to how many crew members you've got. That makes sense. I'm not going to downgrade to standard. Not going to downgrade to standard. Let's go for elite, since this is the only actual encounter we're going to have here. It should be a cool one. Okay, so I think many of the encounter list creatures have varying difficulties. When this happens, all the creatures of the same type must be generated accordingly. This means crews won't face an Arsath Guardian fighting alongside an aberration or an aberration hunting humans with the help of the local fauna. Okay. So we're rolling up a Yeah, generate half of the potential encounters. Okay, so rolling up a 5 crew member elite encounter. So roll a d20 here. 4. 5 elite creatures. Roll a d6 to determine the creature type. 5. They are synthetics. So synthetics are biomechanical life forms commonly found around our south facilities or places of interest, probably the result of experimentation. Synthetics can act normally the same turn they pass. Okay, I don't know exactly. They pass a recovery check. Okay. Right. Size. Sure, let's go for that. It'd be nice to have like Oh, there is an example. Let's have a look at this. Trying to a new unknown destiny. I just want to see an example of like rolling up an encounter. Yeah, there is an example just as they use the rules to determine what it is. So this one is about visiting a known site. Do we have like a handy example encounter? Not really. What about the starting exploration sites? Is this what we use the creature index sheet for? Yeah, I guess it is. We've got all the details about things here. Yeah, this is site specific. Okay, I think I get it. So we have our creature index as well. So we're gonna roll up 5. I guess are they all the same sort of creature? Okay, so some sort of synthetic creature. Right, size and damage modifier 11. It is humanoid in size. Oh. No, if we're lucky, we'll have this site rolled up by the end of the stream. Oops. Right. 2. Its drive is predation. I don't like that. Like swarms of predatory androids. Pretty awful. An insatiable hunger pushes this creature to devour almost anything it comes across. It lives for the hunt. A predatory creature will stop to devour any fallen character instead of dealing with other potential threats unless it is attacked. Oh, that's awful. So it will knock someone down and just immediately start eating them. Okay, so this is an optional rule for determining its intelligence. Most creatures have animal intelligence. Let's have a look. Elite. Yeah, let's roll for an intelligence. Why not? If it like seems totally nonsense. 8. Human-like intelligence. Okay. Which is 6 plus 1d8. Okay. Where's my d8 gone? 7. Okay. So what, 13 intelligence. Which is human-like. Next, pick the stat block matching the encounter's difficulty. This is an elite encounter, so number of rolls in the ability table 2. Okay. Let's just copy this over here. Can I just like fit this on here? It's not quite the same. Yeah, okay, I have to like choose things, I think. Well, let's keep working through this. Right, so we have our stats. 14, 14, 12, 12, 8 to 0. Well, we've worked out our intelligence. So it's not going to be 8, it's going to be 13, actually. Goodbye. Okay, 14, 14. 12, 12, 13, and 0. Do they all have 0 charisma? It would make sense for them to, yeah. It is an elite. When a choice is presented between two options, such as melee, such as more damage or more attack skill, pick one randomly by giving each option a 50% chance to appear. Okay. So it can withstand 2 wounds. It has 15 awareness. Where do I note that? I don't see a spot to note down its awareness. Okay, let's just put it here. Okay, right, so it has either armor or defense. Let's just roll a d6. Odd is going to be armor, even it's going to be defense. Okay, that's armor then. Right, so we have 4 armor and 0 defense. Okay, then we have to pick its damage. It either has attack 8 and 2d12 damage, or attack 4 and 2d10 plus 5 damage. Right, again, let's do odd, the first one, even the second one. Okay, so his attack skill is plus 4. And his damage is 2d10 plus 5. This seems a pretty tough foe. Right, we have a bunch of different recovery reactions. So let's just do these all in one go. So we've got plus 2 defense when it is bloodied, and plus 5 attack skill when it is cornered, and minus 2 defense when it is overwhelmed. Okay, that's that. And it gets, was it 2 rolls in the ability table? I guess we'll come back to that. Right, defining the enemy, roll d10. That is a 9. It is a swarm, a swarm of a swarm of predatory synthetics. This sounds truly awful. Right, and this will determine its combat behavior table. A swarm is a group of dozens or even hundreds of smaller single individuals acting as a single opponent. They are almost impossible to avoid completely, but fortunately no single creature is very strong. While each individual's size is always tiny, the swarm can be as large as a large animal, engulfing all creatures in range. Swarms have no ranged attacks. Swarms can move twice per turn, +5 attack skill. Okay, so it's on a +9 to its attack. -1d10 damage. Is that I guess it's, yeah, they're putting all the dice in brackets. Let's have a look at example. No, these don't have the like damage things. Okay. Right, so I guess it's just a d10 +5 for its damage. Swarms larger than a single human. I think it's not larger than a single human, right? Is there a size table? Yeah. Lots of tables. Where was size, though? Right, yes. Yes. I rolled on that, I remember. Humanoid in size. Okay, so it's not larger than a single human. Attacks against swarms do not roll on the hit locations table. All damage is automatically modified by +1. Okay. Right. And then combat behavior for a swarm, I would roll a d10 to determine what it does. Behavioral guidelines. Close the gap as fast as possible, rushing forward to surround its targets. Delightful. Okay, so I still got 2 rolls in the ability table, but I think that's the rest of that sorted. After generating a creature's... Right, yes, here we have abilities. I'll just step away for a moment. I'll be back momentarily. Sorry about that. I am back. Right, so unique traits. Okay, another d10. And then we want to have 2 d20s for its abilities. Something I'm not sure about is because I rolled it's 5 elite creatures. Is that 5 of the same sort of creature? I guess I'll go back and look at that section again. Maybe it is 5 of the same creature because it's got the whole roll thing actually. Like 5 synthetic swarms showing up at once trying to eat everyone's skin or whatever. Okay, unique trait. His unique trait is +5 damage, -5 attack skill. the swarm had like +5 attacking it. Okay. Okay. So it's actually not super tough, perhaps. Yeah, it doesn't go there. It's just modifying this stuff. Okay, so its attack is actually back to a +4 and its damage is to D10. So that's not so bad. Right, and then abilities. So I've rolled a 1 and an 18. The 1 is Acid Blood and the 18 is Tough. Those both sound bad. So, Acid Blood. Acid Blood. Each time the creature receives damage, it deals d20 damage to any character within melee range, which is a really big range because it is a swarm, I think. And has a 50% chance to destroy a piece of their equipped gear. This is possibly one of the worst traits that a swarm creature could have, right? You're surrounded by these tiny little robots and you're like stamping on them and they're just like exploding with acid. Tough is the other trait. This creature is immune to critical hits. Okay, I guess that makes sense again with a swarm. Actually, critical hits I assume would be a hit location thing, which it is already immune to. So that's let's just quickly check. That's critical hit. Critical hits. Rolling a 20 is a critical hit and a swarm. Okay, so it's not a hit location thing. Okay, cool. Right. So there's a different thing. We've also got hit locations. Let's find the hit location table and see what the effects of that is. I wonder if creatures have like a weak spot or something, like they do in Carnathalis. Like surely they do. Right. Okay. Yes. You get the higher you are on the hit location table, the more damage you do. So in Carnathalis, you get like a critical hit if you hit a humanoid in the head. In this game, you just get a +3 damage. Okay, makes sense. So swarms are both immune to hit locations and critical hits. Right. Okay. That's that. Appearance. This feels like this whole creature generation thing feels like a good candidate for something that could be like automated because there's a lot going on here. Right, let's roll some things here. So we've got a d20, a d8, and a d10. Its general appearance is reptilian. And it is covered with scales. Oh my god, a scale-covered reptile. It's so horrifying. Its unique feature is bright colors. A brightly colored scale, a swarm of brightly colored scaled reptiles. But they are synthetic and want to eat your flesh. D4 for number of limbs. Then we will do we determine what do we roll to determine what sort of limbs it's got? Oh, I guess it's just a terrestrial creature, right? Yeah. Okay. Right, so we've got D4, D10, and D6. It is bipedal, so I guess it just has hind limbs, which is the D6. It is bipedal and has clawed limbs. It It has no forelimbs. Or does it have forelimbs? Like humans have forelimbs, right? We have our legs. Those could be counted as our hind limbs, and our forelimbs are our hands. Bipedal lizards is kind of weird. They look like clawed hands. Little lizard guys. Okay, right, then we have the mouth, which is a D6, the eyes, which is a D10, and the type of eyes, which is a D10, and number of eyes, which is also a D10. Okay, it has no mouth, and it must scream. It has no eyes. Which means it would have 0 eyes. That's horrible. So it's a swarm of like, so it's like a human-sized swarm of like little, like bipedal, brightly colored reptile guys with clawed hands and feet, but that don't have any mouths or eyes, so they presumably hunt by like scent or sound. And their drive is predation, but they don't have a mouth. How do they eat without a mouth? Do they just like, they got acid blood? Maybe they just like dissolve their prey and like absorb their nutrients from the dissolved slurry. Yes, it's taking a very long time to create a creature. Okay, well now we can roll for its name. Okay, how many syllables in the name? 1 syllable name, and then it's what is this? Just a D100 name? D100 table rather. Yep. Okay. When rolling a name with a roll once in each column as needed. When rolling a name with a single syllable, feel free to duplicate any consonant or vowel in it. 94. Hole. Let's duplicate that vowel, make it a hool. Okay, I think we've gone through that. Okay, yes, just the last thing I want to know about was if we encounter multiple creatures, are they all the same sort of type? Yes, when this happens, all the creatures of the same type and must be generated accordingly. Although the creatures share a type, they often come in different difficulties. And add them to the creature index sheet. Okay, so well, all of ours are elite creatures, so okay, so 5 hools. Okay, I think that's that. So, the site we are going to visit is Zastho 223955, which is a spaceship, a derelict spaceship or space station, I suppose, because it is huge, which was once upon a time a bioresearch and containment facility. Wondrous technology has been recovered from it, which is why we are going back. But it is under lockdown, so it'll be hard moving around the place. Despite that, it is extremely active with swarms of hools, which are these kind of bipedal lizard guys, which run around like attacking anyone who enters, dissolving them with their acid blood, and like soaking up their nutrients through their little clawed limbs, I guess, which have like, as I say, the limbs can extrude like root-like things to suck up a dissolved person. Okay. Where were we? We were on site generation. So we're traveling to a known destination. We have blacked out half the resources and seen anthropological finds and generated half the potential encounters. There's only one potential encounter here, so that's all there'll be. Choosing supplies. Okay, so everyone gets these things, and the ship as a whole gets this thing. I'm not going to bother adding it to everyone's gear. I'm going to assume these pre-generated characters, they can carry their gear plus a standard package. Let's just put this like here, maybe. Okay, sooner or later, when all preparations are complete, there's nothing left to do but to board the ship. Yes, the preparations are complete. It is time to go. The finality of this moment drives many dives to drop out at the last second. Okay. In truth, most voyages are grueling experiences. Excellent. The voyage is, without doubt, the worst part of an expedition. When traveling to an unknown destination, the crew doesn't even know how long the trip is going to last. I guess we do know how long because it's a known destination. Right? Traveling to a site explored by another crew, the voyage lasts D6 plus 1 weeks. Okay, and it is consistent. So for returning to a site we've been to before, it lasts the same number of weeks as it did last time. So presumably in the mission file, it will say this journey takes 4 weeks or whatever. So let's roll that. It's a 2-week journey. Okay. That's the creature index. I'm still not sure when we determine like what is required. I guess we'll maybe get to that. Where do we have the journey time? Doesn't look like it goes on here. I guess it just goes on here. So we'll arrive, if it's a 2-week journey, we'll arrive in week 2, cycle 3. Ah, yes, we have it here on the voyage log. And we have some duplicate spaces. Let's just copy things across. So, what was it? It was 22 of 45. I guess it's, yep. 22 of 45, and the artifacts, they found 30 of 59. Maybe I just want to log what I found, actually. Yeah. So we got 0 of 23. And 0 of 29. Fill this, just a dash. And fill this out when we get back, loaded down with amazing treasures. Okay, I think that's that. Right, so we get in the ship and go. So each week there is a cumulative 20% chance of a random travel event checked to the end of each week, and there's also there's also a cumulative chance somewhere of arriving. Um, but we know how long it's going to take. So, okay, when an event occurs, roll a d4. So we pile into the ship and set off, and week one passes without incident. So we're all in good spirits. We've read through the report. We're formulating strategies to avoid the hool. Nikita's like, I'm so fast, a horde of synthetic lizards could never catch up with me. And Zhao plans to defeat them with his principled nature. Week 2, something does happen. So before we arrive, in week 2, an event happens. Roll a d4 to see what happens. A 2. We get a ship malfunction. Perfect. Okay, ship malfunction event. 7. The battery array is leaking radiation. All crew members receive D100 rads before they realize and fix it. Okay. What are like common signs of radiation poisoning? Is like a smell people get. It's like, hey, does the air smell ionized in here to you? 59 rads. We do have some. We have 2 anti-rad pills, unless any came with this. Okay, we only have 2 anti-rad pills. Are we gonna like fight in the ship over the pills? Let's have a look. Anti-rad pills. How do they work? What do they do? A shot that neutralizes some of the effects of irradiation, effectively removing 20 rad. Okay. All right. I feel so we realize we've been dosed by radiation. Let's look at the effects of radiation actually, because we will feel some impacts from it. 59 radiation is a non-trivial amount to take in one hit. Where is radiation? Radiation. Right, so we start to feel nausea and dizzy. Daily symptoms will pass with time or with anti-radiation drugs. So I guess we probably overcome this by the time we arrive, but everyone starts to feel like, does the air smell ionized in here to you? Someone throws up. Probably the lowest constitution person throws up. I've only got 8 constitution, right? Yeah. Hazmat suit. Let's have a look. I guess we're probably not wearing the hazmat suit inside the ship though, because we've not arrived. To level B hazmat suit. Prioritizes top tier respiratory protection, but less skin protection. Okay, so it does not protect from radiation. This is a cheap hazmat suit. Let's see, Constitution. I think it's either me or Nikita are gonna throw up. Let's make our first rolls of the game. Okay, I throw up. Does Nikita? Nikita throws up. So I think probably what happens is time is passing, and we're all feeling like a bit under the weather in this second week, but we're all new to this, so we're not really sure. Like maybe people just start feeling unwell after being in space for a week. Who knows what the effects of like a warp drive on the human mind is? I know people talk about weird things out there, like hearing voices, whatnot. Maybe headache and maybe nausea and dizziness is it, and then like I throw up and Nikita throws up, and there's maybe like some blood in there as well. Oh no. Um, we realize what is happening and like fix the battery, but we only have two anti-rad pills. I don't think weapons are going to get pulled because that would obviously be suicide inside a small spaceship. Oh, we also all gain stress, but let's look at the stress list. So you get 5 stress just for setting foot on a spaceship. Doesn't say we get any stress for radiation, but I guess like facing danger counts. Okay, so we all start to manifest our nervous tics. Just begin like I've been nervously coughing the whole journey. Um, so we've all received 59 rads. Let's note that down. Is there space for rads on the NPC sheet? There isn't. That's weird. Just note that down there. I do like reduced character sheets for NPCs when you don't need to track everything, but it should still have everything you need to track for them on it. Okay. Right, so I think the -2 to all action is going to pass, but there's the -1 con to everyone. I think there's going to be like a bit of a struggle for these anti-rad pills. I want to know a bit about these personalities. Like, is Miesha the kind of person who's going to be like, someone should take these pills? I'm a healer. I will save you all. If not, I'm just going to make like opposed close combat rolls for everyone to see who can grab the pills. Something about like NPC generation, NPC crew members. Something about their personality. Which I guess is in this chapter with all the NPC stuff. NPC morale, this looks relevant. Nope, so they're not hit any of those demoralized conditions. Right, yes, their personalities. So Nikita is impulsive and friendly. Myrtis is trained and social. Xiao is principled and confrontational. Miesha is fancy and shady. think it's kind of what I want to do is I want to have some way of determining, like, is this person likely to, like, punch Miesha for the pills? So it's probably 50-50 for everyone. Like, we're all pretty, like, we don't know each other yet. We're all new to this. So it's going to roll a 50-50 for everyone, and then everyone who is doing it is going to try and go for it. So we'll start with Silas. Silas is not going to go for it. He's not a very tough guy. Maybe he's just kind of resigned, or maybe he's too busy throwing up. Nikita, nope. Myrtis, nope. Zhao, nope. Okay, no one's going to try to like grab the anti-rad pills from Miesha. So that didn't help resolve the situation because now Miesha has to decide who is going to receive the anti-rad pills. And I think I'm going to say it's almost certain Miesha is like, oh, I should take one of the pills. Yep. So Miesha just takes a pill. Like before anyone can like stop him or object or whatever. So he's gonna ignore. He's not gonna lose a point of con. But then for who else? I think it's gonna be either Nikita or Silas because they're the ones who are most badly affected. They're the ones throwing up. I'll just go for a so 50-50. So odds, it's the PC. Evens, it's the NPC. It's the NPC. Okay. So we realize what's going on and fix the battery. And then before anyone can like object or anything, Miesha just like takes one pill and gives the other to Nikita. But everyone else then loses 1 point of con. Okay, very first trip into space, and we get dosed with radiation. But then we finally arrive. So we already know it is a large derelict ship. So we drop out of warp space or wherever it is, and we see stars that don't look anything like the stars near Earth, and just this looming shape. Is this huge dark shape against the stars in front of us, which our ship kind of moves towards and docks with a big clunk. Right, so oxygen and supplies. Those presumably came. Right, so we have 6 oxygen per crew member and 6 supplies per crew member. So we're down to 4. So we can potentially stay for 2 weeks before we have to go back. If we stay for more than 2 weeks, we won't have enough rations to get back. Okay, I want to work out this, like whether hazmats or vac suits are required thing, and then wrap things up. Just time tracking. It uses 10-minute turns, just like dungeon exploration does. Okay, generating the sites. We kind of worked through this, but maybe we missed a bit. Yes, all RSAF facilities have an artificial gravity of 1.5 G, which I imagine is like uncomfortably heavy. And they all have non-toxic but oxygen-poor atmospheres, so we're all wearing our oxygen masks. Start generating areas and encounters. What about the hazmat suits and whatnot? Maybe it's covered in here. The example. Oh, is it on the descriptor table? Is that what would tell us about it? Let's jump back to that. Have a look. Right, okay. Okay, it's in this paragraph here. There is a 20% chance a site also requires a hazmat or a vac suit. If so, there's a 40% chance conditions are so dangerous as to require level A protection. Right, so we have vac suits and level B hazmat suits. So if it's so I'm just going to ignore it if it comes out that we need level A protection, because I wouldn't have gone to a site we didn't have the appropriate gear for. So 47. No, it is fine. We do not need a vac suit or a hazmat suit here. Right, so let's see where we arrived, and then we will end the session, having just done prep for the last 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay. So our ship has docked with this much larger ship, so we presumably enter some sort of docking area. So what do I roll to generate the stuff that's here? Resource, I guess, the thing I was looking for. I did use dice, yes, to determine where the characters threw up. Okay, so the site exploration table. Okay, right, yes, I see. So whenever I move to a new area of interest, you must roll on the appropriate site. You must roll on the site exploration table and then subtables to know what happens. Says I saw this, but kind of skimmed. My eyes glazed over at the list of things. So we arrive in this like large docking bay thing. I think it maybe like looks like it's just open to space, and we fly through like some sort of invisible force field thing, and then suddenly we're subject to artificial gravity and surrounded by this weird unbreathable thick air. And feel like there was like a table of descriptors for rooms. A quick skim to see if I can find it. If not, it's fine. Yeah, maybe this. I feel there was something. I feel there was something for generating, like, what an adventure site or what an area is like. But okay, so we just arrive in this like docking bay thing. There's maybe like a few other like junked spaceships here. Obviously, like anything salvageable in this room has almost certainly been taken. And there's like a few doors leading out to other places, but they're all kind of shut and they have like a purple light on them. Let's say purple is kind of the color the Arsath used to indicate that something is locked. And it is all very quiet. But when we arrive, 10, a random occurrence. Ooh, random occurrence. This result requires the GM or solo player to interpret a few words in the light of recent events and the type of site the crew is at in order to produce some unique challenge or situation. Well, this is our very first thing, so we don't have any recent events. Let's just re-roll that. 10. 3. Resources. Yay. Tools, data crystals, metal cubes. These are what divers risk their lives for and what the KSA is willing to pay for. That's encounter, resources. Oh, we do have like random. Okay. We do have a table of random occurrences. So it's not just. Alright, and what type of occurrence it is and everything. Okay, let's stick with this then. Random occurrence, the first thing we rolled. Yes, I saw Hime's like session 0 thing, and they concluded afterwards that there was a bit too much rolling maybe to do this on stream, but don't know. I'll give it a good shot. Okay, there are tracks or marks here. And what sort of occurrence is this? Is it dangerous? I hope it's not dangerous. It is an event. Okay, so right, tracks, event. A blinding light shines here, making it very difficult to see anything. So all the doors are shut because it is in lockdown, but we have like swarms of little lizard guys moving around. So maybe there's like a blood trail, like dried blood from some previous expedition, where someone died horribly and there's just like nothing left. There's just like a spot of blood. It's like in the middle of the floor and like a trail leading off to like a vent. And but what about the blinding lights? It was a bio-research and containment facility, so maybe when we disembark, like some sort of scanner like just shines on us and there's like a weird beeping noise. And that could just be foreshadowing. Perhaps we hear machinery start to do something off in the distance. So we know there are things here that eat people, and there's some sort of machinery that scans moving around creatures. Yeah, let's go with that. Make a note. Okay. And I guess we'll pick this up next time, as this has been a long stream of just prep. So I will just go through the site generation stuff again before next time. And we will get to exploring whatever this place is called, Zasthro 223955. Hopefully find some loot, because this is a very large place. and only half of it has been taken, and hopefully not be killed by swarms of acid-blooded lizard synthetics. And I know there was a 1 in 12 chance that there was only one encounter here, but it still feels weird to have such a large place with only one sort of encounter. All right, so thank you for watching, and see you next time.